See in front of you. His name is Hunter, and he's one of our Sumatran tigers. So he's 5.5 years of age, and he's pretty much fully grown. Well, he is fully grown, I should say. So Hunter weighs in at about 120. Sometimes it varies a little bit, I guess, how much food he's eaten that week, but potentially up to about 130, which is a good size for a male Sumatran tiger. Now, what we're going to be doing today, guys, is hopefully showing off a few natural behaviours that Hunter can do, and also a few other sort of things that we've taught him here in captivity. But for those of you who aren't aware or familiar with Hunter and our tigers here at the zoo, he's one of the most well-known. There's actually a documentary about him. He's a bit of a movie star. So the documentary which followed the first 8 months of his life. And the reason Hunter is very special is the fact that he's actually totally blind. So some of you may have already picked up that. The giveaway is his eyes. Normally tigers don't have blue eyes, not once they're fully grown anyway. Sometimes cubs can have bluish tinge to their eyes. Normally tigers' eye colour is sort of a yellowy amber once they grow up a little bit. So as I said, Hunter's very unique for that reason. Judging off his behaviour, however, you'd never realise that he is missing his eyesight, because as I said, he doesn't really act any different, and he is actually one of our most confident tigers. We have 13 of them here at Australia Zoo, and Hunter would be right up there with, if not the most confident. So as I said, we were kind of lucky that his personality is one that isn't afraid of anything and is very confident, because obviously it could be a bit trickier if he was a nervous cat. So what Cass is going to do, guys, or what she's been doing I should say, is moving Hunter all around the enclosure. If you're wondering how he's able to locate the tennis ball there on the end of her, so that's how Hunter's able to follow that around with precision and very accurate as well. So as you can see, he's asked to touch his nose onto the end of the tennis ball, and when he does that, he hears a bridge. Now basically, a bridge could be any noise, it doesn't really matter what it is, but Hunter's particular noise that he's familiar with is a clicker, which is attached to Cass's magical target stick there. There you go, she's example 8. And when he does the right thing, he hears that noise. That's how he knows he's done the right thing, and he's expecting a bit of a treat shortly after. So as I said, clicker training or using a bridge, could be a whistle even, is a good way to train an animal, not just a zoo animal. You can do it with your domestic animals at home as well. And it can potentially be a little bit of a way to make it easier to communicate with them. So to capture a behaviour, for example, you obviously can make that noise very quickly, perhaps being able to capture a behaviour that is very, very subtle, and as I said, is used in animal training all around the world. Alright, so Cass is going to move him around. You can see she can also stretch him up, which is pretty cool. Hunter, as I said, being a Sumatran tiger, he's actually the smallest of all the tiger subspecies. So that is cool to see when he is stretched up, because he can touch his nose at about 7.5, maybe even 8 foot if he was really, really stretched up on his back legs. And tigers only get bigger than he is. So as I said, Hunter's kind come from the island of Sumatra. They're the last island type of tigers remaining, and it is a very hot climate there, and also the environment that they live in is thick tropical jungle. So it makes sense that perhaps they're not quite as big to be able to hunt, for example, fit through trees when chasing a prey item, and also the heat. You can cope with heat better if you're not as big. You don't have as much body heat or body to regulate the temperature there, and vice versa. So basically the biggest type of tiger comes from the coldest parts that they're found, and that is predominantly in Russia. So you have a Siberian tiger, which is in fact not only the biggest of the tigers, but the biggest